So now you're a Kannada writer. You're a Kannada speaker. I don't speak Kannada. Now, when you speak of inclusion, obviously the vernacular poetry comes. I'm sorry to use the word vernacular because that's your mother tongue, but I'm looking at it from an English perspective. So I'm saying, can you walk us through your journey? You mentioned a long time back when I had come visited your house, you said about your childhood. You're growing up in a small town. Does all of this play in your contemporary writing, or like in your poetry? Like what?
Yes. Like, before that, I would like to tell you that, it's very important to insist or live in something that you believe and you make it happen. So that is how I'm a Kannada poet. My childhood was in a small little town called Sagar, which is in the Shimoga district. And my parents were well known in the town. My mother is the first lady doctor. She's a gynecologist for the Shimoga district and a very busy doctor. My father was a LIC agent. And our house, though we were 3 of us in the house, our cook used to cook for 15 people because people from everywhere would travel to get treatment for my mom. They would come in cattle carts and whatnot. It was beautiful. And my father was interested in photography, and every weekends he would take me to forests along with him. And like, I had a wonderful childhood, beautiful childhood.
That's nice.
And it's a small town, everybody knows everyone, but the problem was you couldn't tell lies, because everybody knew who you were. And once it happened that my brother, who had come from Bangalore, he took me on the scooter. We fell down. He came to the school and said that there is an urgency and I have to take Mamta. He's a doctor now. And the teacher sent, and halfway through we went and we fell down. And suddenly one woman came and just said, "Oh, you are Dr. Shekhariba's children."
Yeah.
And before we reached home, the news had reached my mother that there was an accident.
Oh my!
Then when I came, they asked me. I said I was playing kabaddi and I fell down, and I was whacked so nicely for telling lies. Small things. And I had a big gang of children. Okay. And Sagar is known for one particular thing where mosque and the temple share a same wall. Ganapati temple and a mosque share the same wall.
Yeah.
And there is a door which has been, of course, locked from both sides.
Yeah.
And there are wooden door which has holes. Like, it's a very old door.
Yeah.
We used to play hide and seek. Game in the temple, and when you started counting on the door, you could see the pond in the mosque. This mosque pond was located within the Ganapati tank. So, there was no separation.
Yeah.
And I always felt so proud to say that I came from that little town where mosque shared wall with the temple.
Yeah.
And we used to go into the mosque, we used to go into the temple, everywhere, and the beauty and the forest and the greenery and like freedom, maybe all that influenced me a lot. I used to read a lot. My father used to bring me books, and I used to read storybooks a lot.
So all of this plays into your poetry in somehow when you write something. When you said...
Yeah, I always think that if I was not born and brought up in that place, maybe I would not have become a poet the way I have become a poet right now. Maybe I would have become somebody who, if at all I became a poet, I would be writing in English, or, I would be doing something, or maybe I would go into IT. I don't know. But growing up in that place made me a poet. Yeah, and till I studied in an English medium school in a convent, and where we were fined if we spoke Kannada.
Really?
10 paise, 5 paise. Yeah. You could not speak Kannada.
So wait,
But when I came,
you like obviously, you love your language, you love your mother tongue.